Now, I've looked on the internet at flights coming from Albania. You can fly from Albania for £28 to this country directly. So I think it's about 3 hours 20 minutes or something like that. The journey on the bus and then on a dinghy is a perilous 40, 50, 60 hours journey costing thousands and thousands of pounds, which people pay to people traffickers. Could you explain to me, why do you think people are paying up to £5,000 to get here illegally rather than pay 28 quid on a Wizz Air flight from Albania?
Can you repeat the last question?
Could you explain to me why people are prepared to pay thousands of pounds to people smugglers, to traffickers, whatever you want to call them, rather than pay £28 on a flight from Albania?
It's exactly what I have asked just from the beginning, because they don't have the possibility to apply for legal migration. That's the problem. And to apply for visa. Because
No, let me come back to you. Why can't they just visit the country for 28 quid and then claim asylum?
Why?
Yeah. Why can't they visit the country for £28, travel on the plane for £28, come, i.e. on a holiday, and then claim asylum? Why can't they do that?
I don't have this information.
So you do have this information. Why can't they do that?
Well, I can't suppose why they do that.
Is it perhaps, do you think, because if they come legally and produce a passport and documents, that our authorities, our border control, know exactly who these people are, where they're from, and any activities, illegal activities they may be involved in the past? Do you think that may be the reason?
Well, I don't have any answer for
Why not? Why don't you have an answer for that?
Because I don't know people that are coming legally apply for asylum.
So I'll put it to you then, Ambassador. I think, is my theory, that people come in and paying thousands of pounds to get here illegally, making a perilous journey, that probably quite a high proportion of those are going to be involved in some sort of criminal activity when they get here. Would you think that's correct?
Well, the answer is that no one came here to be involved in criminal activity, because in general they know what happened if you are involved in criminal activity.
Okay, so
normally they are coming for legal, normally they are just economic.
Do you not agree that they are already criminals by coming here illegally, by entering this country illegally, and then making bogus asylum claims? We don't know very much, do you, Ambassador? I'll give you another question. Is it fair for the British taxpayer to spend millions and millions of pounds putting up Albanians who've come from a safe country in hotels?
Well, I don't know the legal framework that...
Do you think the Albanian government...
It's not my responsibility to answer the question.
Do you think the Albanian government should make a financial contribution to this country for housing Albanian migrants?
To give a contribution?
Yeah, financial contribution.
No.
It's costing millions. No.
Because it's not the responsibility of the Albanian government.
Really? Its own people aren't responsibility?
Yes.
So people that supposedly...
These people, until border with UK, in France, Germany, elsewhere, are coming as a normal tourist.
Ambassador, this is not free movement. This is people entering our country illegally. Now, you say that your country is a warm and welcoming country with a big, massive heart. I'll take your word for that. So if you've got a big heart and you want to look after Albanian people, do you think you've got a responsibility to make a financial contribution to this country, to our government, to look after your own Albanian people when they get here?
Well, there is no reason to give a contribution.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
In the ever-evolving debate over the UK's immigration crisis, one question strikes at the very heart of the controversy. Why would an Albanian national seeking entry into Britain choose to fork out thousands of euros to embark on a perilous, illegal journey across the Channel when a legitimate Wizz Air flight from Tirana to London could be booked for as little as €28? This juxtaposition is not lost on sharp-tongued political commentators, most notably Conservative MP Lee Anderson. Known for his no-nonsense rhetoric, Anderson recently remarked that the answer lies not in desperation, but in deliberate evasion. You'd have to show your passport and papers at border control, and that could expose their criminal activity. A budget airline flight requires nothing more than a valid passport, potentially a visa, and compliance with routine customs checks. On the other hand, the people smuggling routes, often operated by ruthless criminal gangs, demand payments ranging from €3,000 to €7,000 per person. In return, migrants are packed into dangerous, overcrowded dinghies with no guarantee of survival, let alone safe passage. For the majority of law-abiding Albanians, the former is a no-brainer. Albania is not a country at war, and its citizens can freely travel across much of Europe. But for a specific cohort, often young men with connections to organized crime syndicates, or those barred from entering the UK legally due to previous convictions, the traditional route is not an option. It's no secret that the National Crime Agency, NK, has flagged concerns over Albanian gangs' involvement in UK drug networks, particularly within the lucrative cocaine and cannabis trades. Recent reports have highlighted that many individuals arriving illegally from Albania are rapidly absorbed into these criminal enterprises. Their illegal status, coupled with debt owed to smugglers, makes them prime candidates for exploitation and recruitment. Were they to attempt legitimate entry through the front door, border authorities would have access to a wealth of biometric data, criminal records, and watch lists. Any prior convictions, outstanding warrants, or red flags would be immediately identified, denying them access. Anderson's remarks strike a chord with many voters who feel the UK's border integrity is under siege. For years, the British public has witnessed successive governments promise to take back control, only to see migrant numbers swell, especially via illegal route. The stark images of small boats landing on Kent beaches have become potent symbols of a border in disarray. In Parliament, the issue has become a litmus test of political mettle. The government's flagship, Rwanda deportation scheme, aiming to deter illegal arrivals by sending them to Rwanda for processing, is one such measure, though it remains mired in legal challenges and opposition criticism. Opponents argue that focusing exclusively on Albanians is reductive and risks vilifying an entire nationality. Indeed, not all Albanians arriving illegally have criminal ties. Some may genuinely be fleeing poverty or personal persecution, albeit in a manner not recognized under UK asylum law. It's also worth noting that the UK is not alone. European nations from Italy to France are grappling with similar challenges, balancing humanitarian obligations with the need to maintain security and sovereignty. However, Britain's unique appeal, a thriving underground economy, lack of ID requirements for many services, and strong diaspora communities, makes it an especially attractive destination for those seeking to operate below the radar.
Kevin, thank you very much for talking to us today. But, Boris Johnson, the vaccine bounce, you were at a high watermark. These results are going to be pretty dreadful for the Conservatives, aren't they?
Well, it can be more difficult. I mean, we won Hartlepool May 2021, so those things were going really well for us then. It's been more difficult since, of course, for various different reasons. But around the country, we're winning. We won last night in Three Rivers, just down the road here, against Lib Dem, against Reform. It was a Lib Dem seat, and we won that. We won in Harbour last night as well. We've won in Fylde, Edinburgh, won in Tiptree and Essex recently. Right around the country, we get good candidates who work hard and knock on the doors. We can win, and that's what we'll be doing.
But you've got placards here saying lower taxes, better services. No matter how good your local councillors, people tend to look at the national picture. Do you think voters are anywhere near done with punishing the Conservatives for your record over 15 years?
Well, of course, we understand right now, we lost decisively about eight months ago, and that's the reality. We have to accept that fact, and it's going to take us a while to rebuild. But look at the national picture. Conservatives, your council tax is lower in the Conservative councils. You are more likely to get your bin emptied. You're more likely to get your potholes filled. You're less likely to have fly tipping, all those things. Whereas in some of the crazy councils around the country, you've got the Labour Mayor of West Midlands, whose number one priority priority is Gaza. You've got Bradford City Council, whose number one priority was spending £30 million on some fountains in the middle of the city, despite their huge problems in that city. So we set the priorities right. We get the priorities right, we get the services right. That's what people are voting for. Do not vote for a party of protest. Vote for Conservatives, because your services will be better, and we're much more likely to hold Labour to account for all the things they are doing. I mean, absolutely. I remember Keir Starmer saying there wouldn't be a single penny increase in council tax this year. It's up an average £109. It was a barefaced lie. That's the reality. So if anybody can hold them to account, it's us.
The political row over council tax intensified today as Conservative MP Kevin Hollinrake accused Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer of breaking his promise to voters, branding the move a barefaced lie after it emerged average bills are set to rise by £109 this year. Speaking to reporters, Hollinrake, the Minister for Enterprise, made clear the Conservative Party intends to hold Labour's feet to the fire over what they see as a glaring turn. It wasn't long ago Keir Starmer confidently assured people that he wouldn't increase council tax this year, Hollinrake said. Fast forward to now, and households across the country are facing hikes of over £100. It's another example of Labour saying one thing to get votes and doing another once in power. The accusation follows weeks of mounting pressure on the Labour leadership over local government funding, with councils across England citing a black hole in budgets due to increased demand for services and inflationary pressures. Labour sources have hit back, accusing the Conservatives of desperation tactics and arguing that the rise is a direct consequence of years of underfunding by successive Tory governments. Political analysts note that while Starmer's precise wording on council tax pledges remains open to interpretation, the optics of the rise are damaging at a time when many families are grappling with the cost of living crisis. With local elections looming, expect this row over council tax to remain front and center, as both parties attempt to draw a clear line between responsibility and blame.